Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to 10 Minutes with. Today, we are going to look at Ayami Kojima. This was a Patreon pick. I had a few people recommend Ayami's work, and she is awesome. I originally was going to do her the day that Neil Adams passed away, and you'll hear me in the beginning of the video say that I was sitting down to actually do the video on her. We got that news. But this was a random pick on Patreon every week. The goal is to pick a Patreon pick. So we're going to get right into this. We have 10 minutes and we're going to check out her work. I did open actually a Wikipedia just to give a little bit of background on her in case you don't know her work. So she's worked a lot in game design, although she does do comic art, and her comic art is great. But she's worked on games like Castlevania in particular, Dynasty Warriors, Bloodstained. There's some really, really killer sequential stuff that I have in here. So, yeah, I mean, her work is awesome. It's one of those videos where I kind of watch it and go like, what have I been doing with my time? I should be better. Like, do better. Sorry, there's a little line in between these two. Kind of bugs me, but, anyway. But yeah, some really, really crazy art. It's interesting too because this stuff definitely looks traditional to me, and she's bringing it big time. So hopefully this is exciting for fans of her work. I didn't really know her stuff. There was a few pieces that looked familiar to me, but this style of art to me sometimes it looks like a mono, and there's a lot of different artists who have the real kind of effeminate like males, and everyone looks like they're sort of like in an emo band. I like it though, to be honest, but yeah, it might have sounded like I was talking shit. I'm not. She does really great stuff like this too. This like the candelabras, the bottom of the stuff down here is really, really well done, and she almost approaches it in like a dodge tool type way, which is you can create like a very dark value and then hit these top edges with just a little bit of light with the dodge tool, and it brings it out. She's doing it traditionally, and man, it looks great. As far as I can tell, this is traditional. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is. Just get some really nice texture. She could just be a real clever digital artist. So check this out. So this, I mean, if you're like a fan of like Nick Manabat, I mean, this stuff in here really kind of looks like Nick's stuff. Nick Manabat is an American comic book art. Well, he was a Filipino artist that came to America to work on a book called Cybernary, and Nick had real detailed art and drew really cool vampires and werewolf-looking characters. And this was cool. This was one of the first pieces that I found today. I can kind of tweak the scan a little bit. Someone on my Patreon was saying that some of her work looked like it might have been influenced by like Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. So I think some of this stuff definitely looks like she might have had her getting her inner Frankenstein on. She's really good though, man. I'm telling you, getting this video together. I want to say this too, just to be clear, because the image that I found after this wasn't hers, but it kind of looked like her work. But if there are pieces in here that are not her work, I apologize. I don't, I'm saying up front, I don't really know her art, so I did the best that I could. And sometimes on these, when you do a search, it'll be credited to an artist, and it's not. This is nice, very Alphonse Mucha, but other stuff too. But it's really, really beautifully done. The way she did the feathers, all the nice subtle shading and stuff. Oh man, it's so good. Bigger is better. Let's zoom in. I'm gonna get people saying that. It's the worst saying ever. Zoom in. But it works. But yeah, when I watch these back on my TV, I was like, going tighter, dude. Oh, look at this. This is great. I was bummed. There was a version of it that didn't have the logo, but it wasn't as high res, and so I opted for this one. But, this stuff is interesting. Now, there are definitely digital tools that can get this embossed look. So, this is nice, though. This looks like it's, laid in, like it looks like a pearl or perloid. That's crazy. So this could be traditional. This is looking like traditional. Man, that's nuts. I've seen people use gold leaf and stuff like that in their art. I mean, it's the fun of looking at all this stuff is we can just, yeah, this is crazy. It's mounted. So this might be, it's really interesting. You know, one artist who I've been really, really impressed with, and at first I was kind of like, you know, I was a little bit on the fence, is Peach Momoko. I have a lot of respect for Peach Momoko, to be 100% honest. She is a savage, man. She is out there working her ass off. I kind of joked to a friend of mine that I'm like, when you were asleep, she just did 3 covers. I mean, she's like, it's crazy how productive she is, but it's impressive. But, yeah, you know, sometimes we tell ourselves that we're working hard, and then you see someone that's genuinely working hard, and you know, you kind of realize that you could step it up a little bit. You know, that maybe better focus, whatever it is. But her Ayami's work was making me feel that way. Looking at this stuff, I was like, look at this, man. This is just badass. Trying to keep this to 10 minutes, but again, a lot of like really nice kind of impasto chunky paint application, which really makes her work in particular neat to see when you see these original scans. Man, she's so good. It's really, really fun to see. So tomorrow I'm going to do another Patreon pick, because I'm under the impression that when I was doing the influence chain that I forgot last week. And then I also need to catch up with inkers, because I was going to try to do 1 inker a week. So if you have recommendations for inkers, any origin, they don't have to be American, like American published comic book artists. This was really cool. This was one of the first pieces that I found when I was looking for files. Look at this up here. This is great. It's funny. I'm assuming that's a mole on her, but it's funny. It got super like pixeled out. If you zoom in, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's a watermark at some point. This little doll head is crazy. It's really cool. Man, this is nice. Ah, so good. I always wanted to do a series of pieces, kind of like in a style like this, not with gears and the same content, but of like jazz and blues musicians, like real large like paintings with a lot of texture and kind of fading in and out of the backgrounds and stuff like that. I thought it'd be kind of neat, like a little historical look back. So this stuff is great. This is some of the sequential stuff. We're gonna start hitting more of the sequentials now. It's really, really fantastic stuff. I don't know. Maybe people that are more knowledgeable of her work could tell me like how many actual like stories has she done. This is cool. Again, really great texture on this. Some cool stuff in the background. This was cool too. Man, it's great. There's so many good artists. I'm telling you, we could do these videos for the next 20 years and not cover everyone. I do my best, though. I mean, I'm being honest. Like, if you really look at the variety of artists that I select, I mean, my channel mixes it up pretty good compared to, like, a lot of, like, sort of art dive channels. And I didn't come to YouTube to do these types of videos. This wasn't even something I ever considered that I would do. It just kind of happened, and it's fun for right now. So, you know, this isn't the only thing that my channel is going to be about. So don't sweat it if you're like, it's kind of getting old. This is really cool. Some nice like ink approaches here. It's kind of a scratchier line. Looks really good. And she's got good control of these tools though. This piece of hair right here tells me all I need to know. And also some of these. I can tell she really understands form. Nothing like this isn't all side views of hair where she doesn't understand it can go back into space. This was really cool. I like this a lot. It's you know, I'm a big fan of like Castle Wolfenstein and stuff like that. So whenever you've got Nazis as bad guys and gold and mystery and adventure, I think they're great villains, and it's something that's founded in real stuff, so it makes it even kind of more creepy, that like, what were they up to? I mean, Mignola has taken advantage of it, and other things have too, but yeah, this is cool. All the jewels and stuff like that are real nice. This would be a pain in the ass to paint, kind of. I mean, a lot of edges to render, and this is really cool. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice getting out of the influence chain for a second and just doing more random stuff. It almost like the freedom of it makes it a little bit more relaxing for me. Oh, and speaking of the influence chain, good news, and I understand Kelsey is streaming live right now. I talked to Kelsey a couple of times over the last couple of days. He's going to come on and do probably the next influence chain with us, so that'll be really fun. And they'll still be like 10-minute videos, though. They're not going to be like the super fun Sunday thing, but we're kicking around ideas of who to start with, and then you know usually the comment section sort of directs the flow of who we go to next, and it's a surprise. That's kind of the fun of it, is the influence chain can go many directions. This is great, man. This is so good. But yeah, I wasn't 100% sure what some of these comics were from, so let me know, because I think there was 2 or 3 books that looked like that's the sequential pages were from. It was difficult actually searching to find a lot of the images that were sequential, which led me to believe that she may not have done a ton of work compared to like some manga artists. She's busy doing video games, pays better, less work in some ways. She can make a fortune off of those original paintings, though. Again, I'm always under the impression that the Japanese artists don't really sell that stuff, but oh man, she's sitting on a gold mine with those. This is cool. So we should be getting pretty close to the end of the video. I kind of have a sense of when I'm pulling JPEGs, like how many I can fit into a 10-minute video. We may already be a little bit over, but this was pretty fun. Something different to check out too. So let's see. Buddha's great. And the angles that she's doing the sword at is really cool. Oh, this was awesome. This was one of my favorites. Yeah, it hits her work hits like 3 or 4, well, like 4 notes for me. It's got adventure, a little horror, a little sci-fi, a little kind of medieval fantasy, really high draftsmanship. I mean, it checks a lot of boxes for stuff that I like. And she does sequentials, which makes it cool. This is nice. This panel right here is pretty cool. This is really neat. The staircase. Woo! Let's see that. This is cool too. Oh man, so many styles of art. Oh, it's so cool. Ah, that's nice too. Damn. So yeah, cruise over and check out my Patreon. I have over 300 patrons. It usually always sits right around there. I don't even aggressively promote it, to be honest. If I did, I'm sure I could probably double that number. There's over, I don't even know, 700-800 videos there. Someone said recently, and they were really underselling what my Patreon is. They're like, you know, I'm using your Patreon for like the inking videos. I have somewhere between 80 and 120 inking videos up there. There's probably like 400 drawing videos. I go over everything. Drawing from Bridgman, perspective, heads, figure drawing. I mean, I've done it all. There's so many videos there, and they're long too. They're not short videos. But anyway, but yeah, so a couple of the new perks are that every week I pick 10 minutes will be from Patreon. There's also 2 reviews that I give away a month. So, you know, you can submit your sequentials. The first half of the month, I do 1 sequential review just randomly. I pick someone's submissions. And then at the end of the month, I do a review where I'll review someone's work that just is doing pinups, single images, wants to show me their sketchbook and get a critique. And we share it with everyone. And so everyone gets to learn from the review. And it's a really, really good way to learn. I'm part of a guitar community that does that. And it's very, very effective way to learn, because not only do you see people's progress over time, but you see, do they listen to the advice? I mean, it really covers a lot of great things. So anyway, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. I'm not 100% sure I'll be back tomorrow with another 10 minutes but I may. I'm also going to stop in on one of Kelsey's live streams. So I'll have a link to Kelsey's YouTube channel. But if you don't follow Kelsey is Coloring Blaster Kid for me. He's an amazing penciler, inker, colorist. He does it all. So lucky to have him working with me. But yeah, I'm gonna pop in. It'll probably be a short visit, but yeah, he's live streaming as he finishes his book. So he invited me to come on, and I would be more than happy to do it. But he'll be on my channel soon too. So all right, have a great day. I'll talk to you later, and have fun and draw, or write, or do both.